and while they're working.
Oh, this is brilliant. I love this. So if you could set up potentially a workstation, so you could be sitting here in a sitting position, and if your back or lower legs start to ache, now you told me that there was a keyboard tray that you could put on that post.
Well, this is what we use for hotel
kiosks and things, right?
Yeah, the front desk, so that their keyboard's right in front of it, but it's not too close. It actually comes out quite a bit. And so you can have that at a pretty much standard height if you want, or adjust it. But this accommodates the various operators. So it's all done in one area. It's not, you're not keyboard over here, the monitors over there, because they don't have much space at all.
Oh, have you ever walked into the business and the computer operator is here, but their monitor is over here, and they've got to strain their neck all day? Oh.
Well, that's what they're doing at the banks.
I know. I used to be a tech at the bank, and I saw that year after year after year, and they complained about headaches, they complained about vision issues, they complained about sore shoulders, they complained about, just, it was terrible. Ergonomically, it was bad. And this solution, if you put this together with this particular kind of arm with a keyboard tray on it, it is fully adjustable, it is extremely ergonomically correct, and you can adjust it to whatever height is comfortable for you.
That's right, and a person generally finds that they will adjust it.
Yes.
It's not just that they just settle.
Yeah.
And you're actually amazed when you go back to a regular monitor how absolutely irritating it is, because those things those things that we tend to assume are just the problem of using computers doesn't exist anymore.
So the long and short of it is, I'll bet you that if the people that are interested in a computer support arm system like this, if they had it for a couple of days, they probably would never give it up. Right?
Couple hours.
Couple hours?
It doesn't take long. It seriously doesn't take long.
Really?
Conceptually, it doesn't seem to make sense that it would make that big a difference until they use it. And then students that get it in their house and they use it, they'll never, ever go back to a regular monitor again.
No
They'll
kidding.
find whatever way they can to attach it to the desk. So we've got through the hole, we've got clamps like this one. We've got arrangements where you can stick it into the grommets of the desk. You can stick it on the wall if you need to. That is one of the advantages of our product, is that we're catering to people who are making factory workstations. Like I said, we have a product that we're making for the New York City Transit Authority, which is completely different from a regular monitor situation. And you want to get a company who's forced to constantly come up with a new idea, because eventually it doesn't become that. Because I see a lot of them. I see a lot of monitor arms at $125 or so.
Cookie cutters.
And they don't really work that well. They're not solid. And they're the only one. This is the only monitor arm that will give you a lifetime warranty.
And that impresses me. Anytime I can get my head wrapped around lifetime warranty, it gives the consumer such peace of mind. Because, A, you're never going to get the best quality at the cheapest price. Those two things never come in the same package. So you've got to get that out of the way right now. You can pay for quality once or pay for garbage over and over and over again. I mean, we've all been there.
Cheap man always pays twice.
I bought a $200 barbecue one time, and every year you're replacing a $200 barbecue. Go out and buy a $1,500 barbecue. You'll have it for 20 years, kind of thing.
Exactly. Yeah.
So the story of quality always gets retold, and there's horror stories. I mean, when I was a technician, and they'd have cheap monitor arms, they would last maybe a month. And
that short a time?
Oh, yeah. More frustrating. I'm talking 5 or 6 years when I was a technician for the bank.
Right.
They're more sophisticated, but this is probably the best quality monitor arm I have seen in North America, bar none. Bar none.
No, we see a lot, because I go into all the office supply companies, and when they're advertising them in the showrooms, I look at this $10,000 desk and a high school project attached to it.
Yeah, exactly.
At best. And it's
exactly.
There has to be the inspiration to go that extra step, and sometimes it's the artwork. That's why we actually not only do the Build-X shows, we also do the interior design shows, because it is a piece of artwork when it's attached to a desk and has a monitor on it.
You were mentioning that people consider it a form of art. Your particular...
Our particular product, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what have you got on the desk in front of you? Can you give a run-through of...
Yeah. I mean, as you can see, this one here is the gas charge one. I'm actually moving it out of the way. in general, you know, I got the microphone here, so I'm trying to be gentle. Supposed to have good sound quality and can't wander away.
That's right.
The least expensive one would be this guy here. This is called I love the names that we use for our monitors. I don't know who came up with the idea. It's a little macho, but what the heck, right? This is called the Viper. I guess it's because it comes out and everything. We have a Copperhead. We have a Sidewinder. I have it here. I have the Cobra here. This is the Mantis that we've gotten away from. We have a Boa, which is for television. It holds 120 pounds.
Oh, good to know.
It's spectacular. We have this is called the Mantis 20. It's actually designed to take on up to 24-inch Macintosh computers, and we actually make the interconnect for the Macintosh computers. So if anybody wants to know about that, actually, suddenly I'm thinking about the VESA plate. But the least expensive arm would be this one. It gets you onto the market with a product that, again, these are $310 retail. The starter price for a lot of the other ones are about $125.
But these have no equal, right?
No, they don't. And, sorry, I had a little crackle there.
That's right.
That's right. They absolutely will last a lifetime. And I've had 23-inch monitors on our least expensive arms. There's absolutely no strain at all. You start getting into like a Macintosh with a computer is all attached to the screen. Yes, you're going to start getting strain. These are conservatively rated for 8 kilograms, which is, what is that, 17, 18 pounds. Mm-hmm. Our heavier duty ones, when you get into, one of them I don't have, but you know, I'm going to put this down.
Sure, go ahead. Yeah.
No, I'll just show you the arm. You already know that it's on a post.
Yes.
Then you start getting into these gorgeous pieces of equipment, and I've actually seen people caressing these arms. I'm going, oh boy, can I have that back? It's pretty funny. Yeah. It's all CNC machined. It's all anodized, so it's not going to go funny looking on you over time, like, you know, aluminum with air would. So it'll always look like this. Like, this piece has been in many, many trade shows, in and out of the car, sitting in a damp garage for a couple of months just because I had to have it there, and it never looks any different.
And it has brass fittings as well, does it not?
That's right. So it's all made out of stainless steel, brass, and the aircraft aluminum. Nylon is not where you want to go. We actually have nylon sliders, and that's a different story altogether. That material selection is correct for that position. But where you need the tension, where you need the connectivity, where you need the mechanical brake to keep the arm from moving on you until you want to move it, it's got to be the right materials. And the other ones just drive people nuts. You know, $125, you really don't get anywhere close to this. Now this one, the arm would sit on a post and it would articulate in and out as you need to. It goes off to the side. You can literally, with these heads, you don't just get a small amount of adjustment. You can literally take your monitor and flip it completely horizontally.
Really?
If you needed to.
Oh, so inclined,
yeah, I mean, it just gives you that range of motion kind of thing. Now, we make them in different lengths. This is actually the same arm in a ridiculously short length.
That's neat.
And this offers a little bit of movement, but all it is we've just made it so that I'm just showing this off because you can go as short as you want, as long as you want. And we have another one that goes 3 feet,
really?
Which is called the Sidewinder. They go very, very long if you need to. We've incorporated those into our stands that work for 3 monitors, all in one post. It's really nice. And where you'd think you'd have a lot of strain, you really don't, because the two balance each other out, and the guy in the middle is not doing anything. So there's really not much strain on the desk at all.
So it's load-centered.
Yeah.
Very popular for gamers.
Gamers, security, and then you can also stack posts. You can go 6 monitors, 9, 12. It really doesn't matter because the strain is just straight down.
And these are also being sold in hospitals, right?
Yeah.
And hospitals, they're demanding. I mean, it would drive them nuts if they went with a $120 product and it would break. They can't have things break.
They can't have it break.
It's not worth the headache.
They need to be able to sanitize the equipment. This is completely sanitizable. They need to be able to have somebody accidentally lean on it without affecting anything. You know, you've got a monitor, you'll be able to move around the keyboard, which can move around. Everything done off of a wall.
These can go on slot walls too, can't they?
Yeah, anywhere. Slat walls in a workstation.
Yeah.
We're dedicating one project here not here, but in Surrey, a project where we're utilizing what's normally just workstations in factories. They create the tables for the workstations. It's all very interesting. They use the Bosch aluminum structure arrangement, but we're making the brackets that work on there, so you can slide the arm up and down as need be, right on their brackets, right on the workstations themselves, because they're doing an awful lot of touchscreen work for the automation. So we got process automated control people using this product, people who manufacture tables, again the hospitals, and we're just introduced. Some of these projects are still are being fine-tuned in Ontario, but we've got what's called the rugged mount, which essentially is one of the sidewinders, or it could be the BOA, but anyway, they use a series of ratchets so that as a car, like a police vehicle, or especially the police, because they're whipping down the road at 1,000,000 miles an hour, then they have to stop.
Right. So these can be mounted in a car too. You have products that go in cars, fleets and stuff.
Yeah, yeah. And then what they do is they actually they lock in a even more aggressive position, because you're going from 100 kilometers an hour or more down to nothing in no time. So yeah, they actually have a device that it literally locks it in.
Wow.
It doesn't move any more than any other part of the car at that point.
Really?
But then you can make your fine adjustments as needed as well. We're also working really closely with disabled people as well. We actually have fine-tuned to the point of selling, what do you call those? Well, they're notebook holders.
Right.
They hold notebooks for disabled people, and you can bring it. They can have it on their wheelchair.
A wheelchair?
It's actually permanently, well, not permanent, but you can attach it to a wheelchair, and it's all about accessibility, and that'll actually be on my newsletter. You'll get a better feel for that.
We'll put a link on to your newsletter on our website.
Okay,
sure.
thanks.
Yeah,
Thanks.
Absolutely.
Well, that'll be good.
Anything we can do to help support the computer user, because you know and I both know the frustration computer users go through. I'll give you a little story if we sidetrack.
Sure.
A couple of years ago,
I'm all about sidetracking.
I had a beautiful pair of shoes, of dress shoes. They had the waxed round laces. You know those waxed round laces?
Oh, yeah.
And they would come apart about every 4 minutes. The knot would untie. And I'll bet you I stooped down and I retied my shoes 25 times a day. And I did that for a couple of months. I just got conditioned. I got programmed. It drove me nuts. It interrupted my day. I got used to bending down and retying those round waxed laces. Until finally, I said, why don't I invest $1.20 and go out and buy a good set of laces that don't do... But isn't that true? We get programmed into just doing the status quo. I would still be doing those laces if I hadn't invested $1.20.
That company advertised and got under my skin, and now I know that they've done all the solution work that they've gone into. So there's no reason why I should possibly have to make any adjustments at all.
Exactly.
It is not.
So we get so carried away, and we're creatures of habit. If you have a computer monitor sitting there and you don't have anything to compare it to, you've never tried an arm, you don't know what it's like. You have no idea the freedom that you can acquire, all these, and ergonomically correct as well, right? That is the big thing. Any workers' compensation board is going to tell you that is probably the best thing you can do is affect the height of your monitor and affect the height of your keyboard.
Yes.
Because a lot of people, it
all starts from the chair.
Yeah.
Right. Once you adjust the chair, then if you're trying to accommodate for the wrong keyboard, you're getting the headache, so you adjust the chair, which is the wrong way to go.
Exactly.
Everything's got to work.
Exactly. And a lot of people, if they don't have money to go out and buy a really good ergonomic chair, this is where they should be investing their money, right?
Yeah, because the chair, almost all chairs can at least adjust for height. And you can spend $1,000 on a chair if you still don't have all the pieces of the puzzle together.
And you still have to sit in that chair.
Yeah.
But with this one, you can sit or you can stand.
That's true too.
Oh, that is so.
I don't know how many times I've run back into the office, grabbed the keyboard, put it on top of the desk rather than underneath.
Exactly.
And done a quick, couple of minutes of work, and it's fast.
Yes.
It's very fast.
Yeah. So your products are more money than the average product, but the quality is there. Now,